Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Sophia, and I have a job where my office moves at 500 miles per hour. After 15 years in the skies, I can tell you that change is the only constant in the airline industry. You clicked on this video because the title is Surprise Airline Rule Changes Catching Travelers Off Guard, Fall 2025 Update. Maybe you're thinking, surprise rule change? Is it just another hike in the checked bag fee? I already expect that. Or perhaps, the government just changed my refund rights, so I'm protected, right? What else could possibly catch me off guard? You might even be wondering, does fall 2025 mean there are brand new, unannounced penalties the gate agents are secretly springing on us? The answer is yes, and then some. This is not a video about the big, well-publicized changes like the Real ID deadline, which we've all heard about, or the new DOT refund rules, which are fantastic but don't prevent you from getting delayed or denied boarding. This is about the stealthy, fine print, operational, and enforcement shifts that are currently catching even the most frequent flyers by surprise this fall. These are the changes that cause confusion, missed flights, and worst of all, surprise fees at the most stressful moment, the gate. I'm going to share the insider perspective on 9 major surprising rule shifts, some good, some frustrating, that are active right now and changing the landscape of travel in the latter half of 2025. Knowing these tips will save you money, time, and that unique kind of airport humiliation. But first, if you value this kind of up-to-the-minute insider travel knowledge that keeps your trips smooth and your wallet full, you need to be part of this community. Hit that subscribe button right now. Seriously, the travel rules change almost weekly, and I'm here to translate the chaos for you. Let me know in the comments below. What is the sneakiest fee or rule you've been hit with recently? Let's share the pain and help each other out. Okay, let's dive into these fall updates. 1. The Power Bank Crackdown. This is a subtle change, but its enforcement is now non-negotiable at the security checkpoint and at the gate. Lithium-ion power banks are absolutely, universally banned from checked luggage. You might have flown last year and gotten away with it, but airlines and the TSA are cracking down hard due to fire risks. If your power bank is discovered in your checked bag during screening, the bag will be flagged, opened, and the device removed. And here's the surprise part. If the bag is flagged too late, you might not get it back, and the delay can cause you to miss your flight while they pull your luggage. The rule has been around, but the enforcement is now instantaneous and strict. Always, always keep those power banks in your carry-on luggage. An anecdote. I watched a passenger argue for 20 minutes because their gate-checked bag was pulled back to baggage screening. Their brand new expensive power bank was confiscated. Not only did they lose the device, but the delay meant their bag didn't make the flight. Simple, avoidable mistake. 2. The personal item weight enforcement. For years, many major U.S. airlines, Delta, American, United, only specified size for carry-ons. The weight limit was often ignored unless you were on an international flight. That grace period is ending. While the official rule might still say no weight limit, what we are seeing is gate agents on busy routes focusing specifically on the personal item, the one that fits under the seat. If your backpack is bulging, ripping at the seams, and clearly weighs 25 pounds, you are now much more likely to be singled out. The rationale? A bag that heavy causes safety issues when stowed and signals that you've bypassed the carry-on rules. They'll make you check it, and that surprise fee right before you board is brutal. Start treating your personal item with the same weight respect you give your carry-on. 3. The digital boarding pass dependency. Some airlines, in a push for efficiency, are now quietly making app-only check-in and digital boarding passes the expected norm, and sometimes the only option without a fee. If you show up at the counter and need a gate agent to print your boarding pass, especially on a discount or basic economy fare, you might find yourself facing a new document printing fee, or an unexpectedly long line at a self-service kiosk that takes 20 minutes to negotiate. The surprise is that this used to be a free service for everyone, but now the airline is incentivizing or penalizing you to handle the process entirely on your phone. Always download your boarding pass before you leave for the airport and have a fully charged phone. 4. The Southwest Assigned Seating Shadow. This is a slow-moving but enormous change. Southwest Airlines, famous for its open seating policy, is moving toward an assigned seating structure on certain routes, with full rollout expected in early 2026. The surprise is happening now in the fall of 2025. On some flights, you may notice new premium seating options being sold or a confusing hybrid boarding process. If you're used to the old A, B, C groups, you might be caught off guard by the new cabin layout or the fact that a large portion of the plane is already designated extra legroom and unavailable for the usual cattle call boarding. The system is starting to shift, and if you don't pay attention, you'll be stuck in the last available middle seat every time. 5. The European Digital Border Leap, EES. If you are traveling to Europe this fall, specifically the Schengen area, get ready for a significant change: the rollout of the Entry-Exit System, EES. The surprise is that it's replacing physical passport stamps with biometric data collection, fingerprints and facial images, at border checkpoints. While the goal is faster processing, the reality during the initial rollout is massive slowdowns and mandatory registration for your first trip. If you don't factor in an extra hour for this process, you will be panicking about missing your connection or your pre-booked transport. The old process of a quick stamp is gone. This is a whole new layer of security, and the learning curve is real. 6. The no shoes off is not universal. In an exciting and welcome move, the TSA has officially lifted the long-standing shoes-off policy at certain major U.S. airports thanks to advanced CT scanners. Here's the surprise that is catching travelers off guard. This policy is not universal. It only applies to major hubs that have fully rolled out the new screening technology. If you fly out of a smaller regional airport, or if you have a connecting flight through an older terminal, the old rule of taking off your shoes, jackets, and belts is still in effect. Travelers are showing up to security thinking they're compliant and then getting frustrated when they are slowed down by agents enforcing the old standard. Always be ready to remove your shoes. 7. The 311 Liquid Exemption Lottery. Another positive but confusing change is the TSA's move to exempt certain liquid items from the 311 rule when passing through the new CT scanners, again at select airports. The exempted items are critical, like breast milk, formula, and prescription liquid medications, and can now be carried in larger non-compliant sizes. The shock comes when you realize this only applies at airports with the new machines. If you fly out of a less modern airport, or if you are connecting internationally, the old 311 rule still applies to everything. You risk having essential medications or baby supplies confiscated because you assumed the rule was widespread. Check your departure airport's technology status before you pack. 8. The new, significantly delayed baggage refund rule. This is one of the positive changes travelers need to know. The Department of Transportation has tightened rules requiring airlines to provide a refund of the checked baggage fee if your luggage is significantly delayed. The surprise is that many travelers don't realize what significantly delayed means, or that they are now legally entitled to this refund. It typically means the baggage doesn't arrive on a domestic flight within 12 hours of the flight's arrival. The airline won't proactively tell you to get your money back. You have to request the refund and cite the new DOT rule. Travelers who don't know this are leaving money on the table. Don't let them keep that fee if they failed to deliver the service. 9. The controllable delay compensation myth. While the U.S. DOT has mandated cash refunds for canceled flights, a key proposal to mandate cash compensation for controllable delays was scrapped. The surprise is that travelers think they are now entitled to cash for a 5-hour maintenance delay, and they are demanding it at the gate. This leads to friction with the crew. The rule that did pass is that airlines must now provide amenities like meals, lodging, and transport for controllable delays, like maintenance or crew issues, but they are not legally required to hand you cash. Know your rights, but also know their limits to avoid unnecessary conflict at the gate. They still have to put you up in a hotel, but they don't have to write you a check. So there you have it. 9 very real, very active changes catching travelers by surprise this fall 2025. The environment is shifting rapidly. Some rules are relaxing thanks to new technology, while others are tightening due to liability and efficiency mandates. The common thread? Complacency is your enemy. You can't fly in 2025 using 2023 knowledge. Stay informed, read the fine print, check your airport's specific rules, and always keep those power banks in your carry-on. I hope this helps you navigate the skies this fall with confidence. If you learned something new, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next update. I'm here to make sure your travel is as smooth as possible. Let me know in the comments if you've already experienced any of these shifts. Safe travels, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.